Welcome back, it's 9, and today we are going to go over some more PlayStation 5 news, talking about how many PlayStation 5 Digital Editions were made and what that kind of means for Sony's expectations. We're going to be talking about Insomniac Games and the upcoming Spider-Man Remaster that's going to be coming to the PS5. We're talking about Starfield and some talks that were happening between Sony and Bethesda about making a timed exclusive. Now, while we know that probably fell through, what else could that mean for Sony and third-party exclusives that are upcoming? And lastly, we're going to be taking a look at the new box art reveals of the headset, the camera, the charging station, the DualSense, and the remote, and obviously the PlayStation 5 consoles, which you guys have already seen. But before we get into that, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos, and hit the like button. It helps the channel a ton. Now let's get right into it with this article that comes from Video Games Chronicle titled PS5 Digital Edition could make up less than a quarter of pre-order stock. So we all know that this generation, Sony went a different route, and I think it was the first time they ever made a home console that didn't have some sort of disc tray in it. And so this is the first digital edition. According to the publication's analysis of PS5 hardware allocations at various GameStop locations, roughly 24% of the stock available was taken up by the digital edition, with the remaining 76% for the standard edition. Ars Technica reports that it was also able to confirm with sources that at least one or other retailers had similar PS5 digital edition allotment ratios. In addition, Best Buy Canada's website reportedly showed 19,000 standard editions and 3,000 digital edition pre-orders available last week, which would mean that digital made up just 13% of its stock. Last week, PlayStation President Jim Ryan said the platform holder was doing our best to predict demand for PS5 Digital Edition consoles, following reports of pre-orders quickly selling out. And I think this is just a sign of the times, right? We're coming into a time where people are more open to digital purchases, right? We've become more comfortable, especially with the PS4 generation. And I think that's just going to become more prominent as time goes on. Now, does that mean that there aren't people out there who are always going to want their disc-based games? Absolutely not. There's always going to be people that just want to buy disc-based games. Now, until that time comes that they completely phase that out, it's probably looking like, if not next generation, the generation after. But this is something that's going to tell Sony, hey, you guys need to put out more digital editions, because number one, it was a lot cheaper. Like in where I live, it was $129 cheaper to buy the digital edition than it was for the standard edition. So that $129 could be a Sony headset for us. That $129 could be a remote and something else, could be a game, could be many different things. And people like to, have more options when it comes to buying consoles or buying anything really when it comes to technology specifically. So I think it could only benefit them to offer that to all of us. So really good move on Sony's part. I'm glad they decided to go with a digital edition as well, because I myself purchased a digital one. I know that I don't buy disc-based games anymore, and that to me saved me $129, and I was able to buy a headset. It really changed it a lot for me. I'm glad I was able to get one. And I know, again, a lot of you are big fans of physical media and you guys don't want to let go of it. Completely respect it, completely understand it, and you are entitled to have that. So all respect due there. Definitely am not saying everyone should be on the digital wagon. On to the next topic. So a tweet was sent out by Joseph Sayer saying, "Can I pick up where I left off on Spider-Man Remastered with my Spider-Man PS4 save file, or will I have to start the game over? Thanks." Insomniac Games replied, "Saves won't transfer from the original game to the remaster." Now, a couple other things were confirmed. Number one, we know that this game is going to have an entirely different or a separate trophy list. Now, could it have similar ones? Obviously, but it's going to be one of those cases where you could get a platinum again for the Spider-Man game just on the PS5. We also know that the game is going to be running at 60 frames per second, and it's going to have a bunch of other graphical enhancements and take advantage of that SSD for speed, which is great. I think that it's awesome that we're going to see that. Now, I personally will not be revisiting the Spider-Man game on the PS5. I played it, enjoyed it. I don't play games more than once usually if it's a story-based game, unless it's something that really grabs me and is absolutely exceptional in quality. Not to say that Spider-Man isn't. It was a great game. I enjoyed my time with it, but there's just so much to play that I would rather experience new games than go back and play the same game again. But maybe down the road, I'll play it again. Who knows? On to our next topic, and this comes from Imran Khan over on Twitter. He says, "The timing on this announcement is absolutely fascinating in regards to Xbox purchasing Bethesda. The week after Sony solidifies their existing exclusivity with some Bethesda games, but the day before Xbox opens up pre-orders. And he says, fun note, Sony had been negotiating timed exclusivity on Starfield as recently as a few months ago. Going to guess either those talks are done or the price suddenly went up, way up. And this is quite interesting. And this says a lot about Sony, right? Like, I think overall, Starfield is definitely not going to be a timed exclusive on the PlayStation unless they offer up a lot of money. But according to what Phil Spencer said, which he did note, he said Starfield will be on Xbox and PC. He already said that. I do think it'll probably make its way to PlayStation. I don't feel like he would give up those sales. I mean, they spent a lot of money, so they want to recoup that. Plus, they're more about just bolstering Game Pass. That's what they're about. So I don't think they would take games away from the PlayStation platform, but definitely they could, and it would make a difference. But to the point of this tweet, where Sony's out here making third-party deals, it just shows how serious they are about locking down exclusives. We know that Sony has a lot of their own games, and they're very incredible experiences. They're amazing IP. We've talked about it extensively, about how great their studios are, how great their IP are. But when we talk about them going out and making third-party timed exclusives, they are going above and beyond, right? So if they were to get Starfield, it would have been a huge deal. But it makes me question, are they able to maybe get a GTA 6 as a timed exclusive? Is that possible? And I really believe that they would spend the money to do that, or something on a similar size, right? Something that's as big as GTA. And I really could see them doing something like that because they're really aggressive this time around. They're not playing games. They're, like, no pun intended, they're really just trying to win over the consumer. Now, we know that they're probably going to sell way more than the competition, and this is only helping their case. So I really am looking forward to seeing just what happens with any other deals that they have going on. This deal may have fallen through, but I could totally see them having talks with many other companies, like Capcom for sure, Square Enix, we know they're having talks with them. Take-Two, I could totally see them having talks with them. Like, there's a lot going on in the industry that we don't know about, and I think that when it comes to light, we're all going to be shocked. Like, for example, we had no idea Xbox was looking to buy Bethesda. At least I didn't. So when it came out, we were all shook. We had no idea that this was like a thing. This is crazy to me that they even did that. But that doesn't mean that Sony's not doing anything of their own. Now, does that mean that Sony's going to go out and buy Rockstar? Probably not. But I do think that they do have a lot of third-party deals under the table that they haven't shown us yet, and they will show us. On to our last topic, and it's not a big one. I just really wanted to throw it out there. Sony released some of their box art for their accessories, and obviously their consoles we've already seen. And my goodness, does it look clean. Like, it looks really good. I was so impressed with it, and I think they're just really good at their packaging. Their packaging has always been top tier. Like, their design is on point. I love it. I know it's like something small. It's not really a big deal, but it's something that I really appreciate and I enjoy. Like, I can't wait to see what this stuff looks like in person. Like, this is something else, man. And I love keeping my boxes for my accessories and consoles. So silly, I know, but I definitely keep my console boxes and accessory boxes, and I have them. And I'm looking forward to keeping this as well and throwing it on display. But anyway, I'm going to pass this on to you guys and ask you, number one, what do you think of the PS5 Digital Edition and how Sony has now gone in the route of really creating, like, much less of the digital edition versus the standard? And what do you think of Insomniac Games not having cross-save functionality in their game? Does it make sense to you? And also, what about their trophy list? I think that's pretty cool that they got a second trophy list for the Spider-Man PS5 game. Makes it worthwhile almost to play it again. What do you think of this Imran Khan tweet talking about there was a Starfield negotiation happening and that probably fell through? Do you think that Sony has something else going on that's even bigger than Starfield? And lastly, what did you make of the new PlayStation Accessories Box Art? Are you as impressed as I am with just how clean the design is? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos. Hit the like button. It helps the channel a ton. Follow me on Twitter. Link will be in the description. And lastly, share this video with a friend. I will talk to you all on the next one. Take care.